Okay, in this mini tutorial we're going to have a look at lists again, and I'm going to show you how to append to a list, how to add things to a list. So I've got a simple list called my list, and in there I've got numbers 1 to 10. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add the number 11 into the list. So to do that, we use this dot append. So obviously, if you've called your list something else, then you'd need to change the name there. So it's whatever variable name that you've given it. So my list dot append is a method, and then we open up the brackets, and then you put in what you would like to append to it. So I'm going to append 11, close my brackets, and then I will print out my list again. And this time it should print out the list but with 11 on the end. So run it, and we've got 11 on the list. Okay, so a really easy way to add things to a list. Now you could combine this with a loop, so you could set up a loop to add multiple things to a list. Now we set up a loop in the last tutorial, which was to just print out the numbers from the list. So if I just as a reminder, did for item in my list, and then we did print item, which printed out all the items from a list. So what I'm going to do this time is I am going to actually put in an if statement, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up a loop to loop through all the items in the list, and we are going to append all, what should we do? We'll append all of the numbers that are less than or equal to 5 into a new list. So I'm going to set up a new list by here. I'll just call it my list 2. Okay, so I'm going to set up an empty list. So I've got a loop by here for item in my list. So for every number that's in this list, now I'm going to put my if statement. So if the item is less than or equal to 5, my list 2 dot append item. So what I'm saying here is that for every number that's in this list by here, if the number is less than or equal to 5, then it's going to add that number to my new list, my empty list. So if I print out my second list, I should end up with a list with only the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, because they are the only ones that are less than or equal to 5. So I'll tell you what, I'll print my list and then I'll print my list 2 so you can see them both. So I'll run it. Okay, and then that first one is the original list, my list, and the second one is my list 2, which is all the numbers that are less than or equal to 5. Okay, and there's loads of different things you could do. So you know, for example, if we just wanted the even numbers, we could append to the list just even numbers. So I tell you what, we'll write a new program. We'll get rid of all these lists I've got. I tell you what, we'll start off with an empty list, and we'll set up a new loop for, I'll say, number in range. I will do 1 to 11. Okay, so we'll say if number mod 2 equals 0. So we're saying that if the number divided by 2 doesn't have a remainder, that means it's even. So I'll do my list dot append number. Okay, so what we should end up with is a list of numbers that are even. So if I print the list at the end, run it. Okay, we've just got the even numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.